Hi, I hope you're having a good week. I also hope you enjoyed my video last week, which was about my home studio, just a wee snippet into how it's all set up and the gear that I use, and also the setup of the song Inspire. And during that little tour, we came across this thing here, which is called a Kaotica Eyeball. And I bought this because I really wanted some good soundproofing for my singing. I really needed a good setup because when you're doing your vocals, you can get a lot of sounds sort of bounce back off the walls. You can get a lot of extraneous noise coming in to your recording if you're not in a treated environment, let's say. And in this room I have a lot of wall space, I have pictures, of course there's the ceiling, and so there's a lot of surfaces which the sound can bounce off, and so that can affect the purity of the vocal that I'm recording. And also you can get noises from outside, so animals, birds. I get a lot of birds that tweet around outside, and they can also infiltrate the vocal recording. So short of actually creating a sound booth, which can be very expensive, or putting up sort of things which are going to help with the sound and sound reflection in my room, which can be quite costly. You can actually get things put up onto the wall and create a whole, sound booth environment, but that does get costly, and not always necessary if you can find sort of something like this, but probably necessary if you're a professional studio. So anyway, you have to, well, I have to find sort of something that's a bit more affordable, but also as effective as possible without being over the top, let's say. So to start with, I used a screen, and just a screen that I'd purchased, and I was putting some like duvet covers and blankets and things over there, just to create sort of an environment where I could get a certain amount of soundproofing. And I will show you that soon. So that was my first way of doing it. There are other ways which work quite well. Another one is actually being in a wardrobe amongst your clothes. That can work quite well. I didn't resort to that, but I did start off with my makeshift sound booth using my screen, and that worked quite well. But when this came on the market and I saw this, I thought, oh, this is just going to be wonderful, because apart from anything else, I'm actually in a really small room here, and this is going to be really good as far as not taking up too much space. It's just a tiny wee thing. So I will just give a wee demo. Actually, I'll set up both. This is already set up, which is another great thing. I don't have to set up a whole screen, and I'll just give you a wee demo as much as I can. It's not going to be, wonderful quality and all that, but just to give you an idea of the difference, hopefully, and to just sort of show you the difference between this and a sound booth. So okay, let's get started. So what I'll do to start with is take this apart, and so you can actually see a little bit more about how it's all set up. So I'll just start taking this off. Now this is called a pop filter, and this is basically, excuse me, one of these which you might have seen in videos of people singing. So it's a pop filter, so it helps to screen out those p sort of noises when a person's singing. It sort of takes the p, t, those sorts of noises, helps screen those out so they don't really bounce through into the recording, and they can sort of come through quite loudly. So that's what this is. This helps to prevent that. So if I take that off, then in here you can see my microphone. So this is literally, you can probably just see in there, This is just literally a ball of foam, but of course it's special foam created just to be a sound booth. Great idea, whoever thought of this, great idea. So obviously that fits over this, creating just that tiny wee space, and once you're singing right in front of it, that's all it's going to really pick up. Nothing's 100%, but that, you know, is really good. It's a great idea. And then of course you just got the microphone, and this is the cradle supporting the microphone here. And this is a condenser microphone, if anybody wants to know. They're a little bit more fragile than a dynamic microphone, but they do tend to pick up a lot more of subtleties in the voice. Okay, so we'll move on now to my screen. Let's see you soon. So here's my original setup with the screen, and you can see I've put a blanket on the back there. I would normally have more blankets, but I just thought for demonstration purposes only one was really required, but I would normally have them on the sides as well. So you can see I've got the microphone placed in the middle here, and the pop filter in front. That's usually around about sort of 4 to 6 inches away. And so as I sing through here, that will of course help to prevent any of those pitter sounds coming through into the microphone. So there's a lot more space around here, as you can see, compared to that Kaotica Eyeball. So there's more chance of noises coming in. Even now I can hear birds tweeting outside, and I can imagine it would be very difficult to stop the sound of those actually coming through into any recording. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask those, and I shall do my best to answer them. And you can follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and on my blog on my webpage. I'd love to hear from you. Cool. Have a good week. See ya.